YouTubers again. This is next week's reading, and I'm going to be doing my usual reading of beginning, middle, and end, and then what's in control and what's without your control. And so let's get started. Okay. First of all, with these cards, there's a lot of internal work that's being done, but it's also, you begin your week with a lot of external work. And what this card kind of points towards is that you're left holding the sword and everybody else is flying off. And someone is staying with you and you want to go after them, but he's telling you to stay, that you have to stay and continue doing what you're doing rather than go off and do what they're doing. Because what you're doing is important as well, and so is theirs. It's not any less important than what they're doing. What you're doing is as important as what they're doing. You're just doing something different. And you're looking off into the distance, and he's trying to tell you, and the bird on your shoulder is trying to tell you what you're doing has the same importance as what is being done about you. Okay? That's what you're dealing with this from last week. You maybe have met a lot of really great people and that do a lot of work, but what you're doing right now is just as important as what they're doing. And don't feel left out just because they're out doing amazing stuff, because you're doing amazing stuff too, just smaller shaped. Okay? And this next card for your middle year week is all about it's a young girl paying homage to things that are important to her. She's giving tea service to her stuffed animals, and you see the Fae are in the background, and they're actually bringing in the actual meal, or they're actually giving the actual food. They're providing the actual food. So someone outside is providing the food, but you're the front person. You're the one that is making everybody feel good. Everybody says thank you to you, and you're the service person, and you're the one that everybody else sees. And this is a more external, on a more internal stage. You're the thing that everybody else sees, and behind the scenes isn't you put on a good face externally, but internally there's a lot of work that's going on behind you. There's a lot of resentments, maybe a lot of bigger things that are going on in the background that people just aren't seeing, and you're getting a lot of that stuff done, and you're actually, I don't know, this is an interesting card, because it's all about perception with this one. Is that you're doing the work, you're doing the internal work, things are getting done, but what people are seeing is not what's actually being done. Okay. This is an interesting part. We'll come back to it. It's all about once again perception. You're not necessarily seeing all the good work that you're doing. You're internally thinking, gosh, I'm just playing with animals. I'm just doing the tea service to animals. And you really need to understand the perspective point that this isn't really what's going on. Big things are actually going on. There's wishes are being granted thanks to what you're doing, and you're just not seeing it. And it's all about perspective. You're just not seeing it. A lot of things are being done. It's kind of frustrating that you're not seeing it. There's tons of goldfish in the river. And you're paying attention to the tea service, and you're like, I blows through the motions, that kind of thing, and you're kind of dead to that, but you're not seeing the way the river's flowing and the wishes that are being granted and what's going on. So it's an interesting card. I'm not getting a really clear picture of what they want me to tell you, but that you're just not seeing it. You're not seeing what they want for you. Okay, so and moving on to the end of your week, another internal card is the Empress. Maybe you're actually going to realize what the hell's going on an internal level. You're going to realize that you are the Empress. You are doing big things. You are doing good things. And yeah, this is a fantastic card. Maybe you're finally realizing just how important you are to the big scheme of things. But you're doing a lot of internal work with this. And a lot of these were, there's Nine of Swords. You've got lots of thoughts towards other people doing lots of great things, and you want to be doing great things, or thinking this back and forth. You're having a dialogue with yourself, and then you're feeling like you're not doing anything important. You're feeling like you're doing service to animals, that they're not appreciating what you're doing, and then you finally realize you're the Empress. What else is there to say about the Empress? She's the Empress. She's a great character. She's doing all these good things for people. She's the nurturer. She nurtures people, and herself. She nurtures herself first and other people. And that's probably the dynamic that you want to get going here. That you need to stop looking at other people and start looking internally first, and then looking outwards. And that's probably what this card is all about. Is you're finally realizing that. This seems to be a big thing for someone, is that they need to realize that what they do is important. That's a big message I'm getting for that week, is that you need to realize just how big your part in this is, and that what everybody else is doing isn't as important to you as what they're doing is to you. It's all about realizing that you come first. You need to come first before everybody else. And that's a big thing this week. You're learning that. It's really nice. You're finally learning it. I'm not trying to be derogatory or anything. It's just, it sounds like a person that has been trying to be taught this lesson over and over and over and over, and they're finally getting it. And the teacher's like, oh my god, you're finally getting it. Yay! I can go to something else now. Yes! But yeah, that's kind of where the universe is kind of saying. It's like, oh yay, you're here, you finally got here, and they're excited, they're wonderfully excited for you, saying, oh yay, let's do a celebration, you're great, you learned this, now, moving on to the next thing. Yeah, universe is just like a flow. You don't just stay stagnant in one area, glory in your glory, but they move on to other things. But anyway. So moving on to what is within your control. Ace of Wands. What comes into your life spiritually? And this is an internal card. Once again, it's reversed. Ace of Wands. Yeah, that's big things spiritually. Letting those big things in. Doing those big things, or just being involved in those big things spiritually. That's within your control. You've got so much potential. That's within your control, because you've got so much potential. It's wonderful. You're a big fireball waiting to go off. That's what's in your corner right now. That's what you've got in charge here. But what's outside of your control is the Eight of Cups, which is an interesting card. Beautiful card. And it's also an external card. Is you're not in control of where your emotions will take you. You've got all these fires and these big, bright, bold things that are coming your direction, but you're not in charge of how deep this will take you personally, internally. You're not really in charge of where your emotions will take you. That's the big phrase there. Where your emotions will take you, or what emotions this will bring out, because you'll be doing lots of spiritual things, and spiritual things have a flip side in the physical, or the emotional, or any number of things. So it's got a flip side that's going to show up in other areas. So what emotions is going to bring out? Because this was also in your card, the reverse of the service here, T service. It's an interesting. Your potential is infinite. You're in control of what you get done, what spiritual steps you take, but you're not really in charge of the emotions they're going to bring out. And don't be afraid of them, of course, but these are going to bring some emotional changes, and it's going to bring you into a deeper relationship with your inner self. And that's what this is all about, is getting to know your inner self and enjoying it and relating to it, and I won't say using it, but commiserating with it on certain things and allowing it to give you advice, that sort of thing. That's kind of what you're pointing towards. So you've got this big potential, but you don't know where it's going to leave you emotionally, and you might want to get in touch with that before you dig in deep. That's kind of you need to check in with yourself emotionally, because middle of the week looks like you're going to be kind of like it's just playing to the emotions, and, playing them. You're going to be very wrapped up in your emotions in the middle of this week, and you're not going to see what's going on around you. And on camera, don't do that. It's going to be an interesting time for you, because you're going to be getting all these spiritual connections, and you're going to have this all big spiritual awakening and this potential, but there's going to be a flip side to it. You're going to be moving forward in the spiritual realm, but you need to check in with your emotional self and make sure that you're also on top of that as well. Don't be scared of it, though. Don't let it overwhelm you, but just keep that in mind. Check in, ground, stay grounded, meditate. Keep in check of with what is physically happening, and emotionally happening as well. Okay, so big heady week. So talk to you next week, and have a good week, and talk to you later. Bye.